Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us. As trusted partners of architectural, engineering, and manufacturing firms worldwide, we understand the fundamental challenges you face when it comes to managing your software license portfolio. As the saying goes, you cannot manage what you cannot see. And it is this lack of visibility and control that is costing your businesses time, money, and valuable resources. And this is where CQ FlexMon comes in. In today's video, we're going to go through CQ FlexMon and how it can support your business. And we're going to be joined now by Jeremy Vessey, our CQ expert, who is going to take you through an overview of CQ FlexMon. He'll do a live demo, and then I'll go through a case study example to show you the real impact of CQ FlexMon. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Jeremy Vessey, our CQ expert.
Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, welcome everyone. So just a quick vision statement. So this is our CQ vision statement, empowering businesses to optimize software usage and enhance productivity, tailored to meet needs and ever-evolving changes. So we're going to quickly go over CQ FlexMon. What is CQ FlexMon? Okay, so it's really a tool to help your company just gain more knowledge of your software license portfolio. It's a software monitoring tool. It can monitor a wide range of on-premise network license managers. It can monitor executable files, and also which opens it up to very, very many vendors, okay, which we'll touch on some of those as well. Primarily, we do monitor Autodesk software as well as Bentley software as well. So a couple of pain points really to go over. Okay, so over purchasing or underutilizing expensive software. So as vendors start to move away from network license servers, go to a subscription model, that helps them obviously with costs, but obviously we need to then make sure that we've got the right licenses for your teams. Okay, so this is where we can sort of eliminate waste and ensuring compliance as well. So it's not only about license costs, it's about potentially license issues with compliancy from vendors. So cost control, okay, so we're trying to, we've normally got or can have high and predictable software costs. So if we can identify those unused or rarely used licenses, some vendors do have different types of license model of where we can switch people to different license models. So we'll go over some of that as well. Compliance and audit readiness. So some of the vendors are quite hot on audits and license audits. So that's not only about usage, it could be use of old versions. It could be software that's been installed with a different license key, etc. So we can help you with that as well. Okay, so we'll CQ FlexMon can sort of, based off of the usage data, we can see if people are using old versions. And also there are some ways that we can help by doing an inventory of PCs to see if there's any old software and different license types installed. Resource allocation. Okay, so some customers do have difficulty knowing what tools are being used in different geographical locations. So CQ FlexMon can track licenses and software, different teams, different departments, different offices, locally around the world as well. So we can then split those reports up accordingly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into a little bit of a live demo to see some of the reports for CQ FlexMon. So first of all, we're going to have a quick look at some Autodesk data. So Autodesk data we've got here in our demo database, and we can start to see basically AEC licenses. Okay, so these are AEC, Architectural Engineering Collection licenses, can be quite expensive licenses. So we want to make sure people are using that software. As we can see here, we've got 29 licenses assigned, but actually we can see these people here have not used it within the last month, for instance. Okay, so this is based on some demo data, but these are basically where we can see that people aren't using the license. We can also see that people are using the license very infrequently. Okay, 1 time, 2 times, 3 times across a month. And actually with Autodesk software, there is a potentially a better model that you can use called flex tokens. What we can do also is we can monitor those flex tokens as well. Okay, so if we do have customers with flex tokens and named user licenses, we can monitor those. Okay, because what we want to do is make sure we've got very, very light users of flex tokens on the right model and very, very heavy users of the AEC software on a named user. Doesn't matter how many times you use a named user product, but actually if you're starting to use it more and you're on a flex token model, that can be very expensive. So what we can also do is run a report. Okay, so one of the reports that we run for this data will be shown here. And what this will do is this will take the data that we can see, and it can be, you can produce these reports for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months to get a good idea. It will take this data into Excel, and we've got some defined templates that we use. So what this will start to show is people that are using, when people are using the data, okay, when they're using their applications. So we can see we've got the usernames, we've got the reporting period. We can also see when they've used flex tokens, okay, and that value there shows you how many flex tokens they've used on that day. This user, we can see that they've been on either a named user license all the way through, which is fine. This user, we can see they've potentially been on a named user license because there's no tokens in use, and then they've been switched to flex tokens, okay? So what this is, we're just highlighting it in red because that's quite a lot of flex tokens to potentially use every day. If you start to times that across every single day, 30 days, this model could not be the best suited model for that particular user because it could be more expensive in a year than an AEC collection license or an AutoCAD or a Revit license, okay? What we also show here is a quick way of seeing what version people are using. So this will highlight if people are using an old version. That can be a compliance issue, which I touched on earlier. We can also see people that have got an assigned license and they've not used it. Now, if they've been assigned a flex token license and they've not used it, it's fine. They've not consumed any flex tokens at a cost. If they have a license of AEC and they've not used it, that can be quite expensive. Plus, we've got people using flex tokens. So it's all about trying to maximize the amount of named user licenses that you've got, but also put those people that are very infrequent onto flex tokens. We can also see people that have been invited into an Autodesk portal and also got a license assigned. These people cannot use these licenses, okay? Because if you've been invited into a portal but not actually completed the invite, you cannot use that software. So we would immediately look at this, take these licenses away from these people and give them to other people, potentially flex token license users, okay? So we want to try and maximize your flex tokens, maximize your named user licenses there. What we can also do specifically for people that have got flex tokens is just give you a bit more of an insight. Okay, so we've got a vast array of data that we collect within CQFlexMon. But also what we want to try and do is give you a bit of a steer of what we think you should do with the licenses. So in this report, we can see it's high flex consumption. So if you've put a user on flex tokens, that's fine. And they may be using those gradually once a week, once every couple of weeks. If they start to use a project, but they're still on flex tokens, that can ramp up quite quickly. So what we're going to do here is highlight the people. If they carry on, this is a month report. If they carry on at the same usage for 12 months, then actually it could be more cost effective for you to put them onto a named user license. On the flip side, we can see these users that have got an AEC collection license assigned and actually they've got no usage or low usage. These are the people that you should consider putting them onto flex tokens. Okay, so it's not all about just giving you data. We do try to help you with the actual data and make recommendations of what we think you need to do with those licenses. So what we'll do now is we'll have a quick look at some other software. Okay, so a lot of our customers may well monitor Adobe software. Okay, so again, Adobe, it's like a license model that you have to supply usernames and give people different licenses in a portal. But are people using them or not? Are they making the main use of that particular license? So this is where we come in. So what we can do is with CQFlexMon, we can monitor any executable file. Okay, so any program that's installed on a Windows desktop, you double click on the shortcut, it will use an executable file. We can monitor the start time and the end time of that application to then give you these detailed statistics of when people have started software and when people have ended software. That then starts to equate to the same type of thing where we can see heavy users and very, very light users of software. So one of the reports that we generate for these type of software is this one here. One of the key things that we find with monitoring executable files is we want to try to get the right license limit as best as possible. So what this report does is it highlights the unique users that we've seen across the reporting period. So we're seeing 132. If we see roughly around the same number every single month of InDesign, but we've actually got 200 licenses in the portal, we've probably got too many licenses. And on renewal, you could reduce that amount of licenses and therefore save cost. We don't ever want to take software away from someone's using it, but on the flip side, we can't afford to keep on paying for licenses that aren't being fully utilized. Then we can break it down into individual versions. Okay, so this is quite handy to see from a compliancy aspect. If we've got the vast array of users using the latest version, we can still see people are using the older versions. Now, that could potentially be a compliance risk, possibly not. It really does depend on the vendor and their license agreement. It's just a very, very nice way of trying to actually find who's using old software. Could be we just need to get IT to upgrade to the latest piece of software there. One of the other reports we use for this is a heat map report. Okay, heat map reports are quite nice because it's quite visual and you can see heavy users and very, very light users. So what this one will do is, again, it will start to show the heavy users, light users of the software. So we can see that we've got 4 pieces of software being used. These are the heavy users at the top. These are the light users at the bottom. Okay, so if we are thinking about removing licenses or putting them onto a different license type, these are the people that we want to look at. We can also see when they've used the particular piece of software, and also we can see how long they've used it. You can see there's quite a lot of 24 hours in there. That just means the software's been left open. Therefore, the PC isn't getting rebooted for security updates and AV updates, etc. So it's quite handy for us to be able to see that. It probably means they need a license of InDesign because they are using it a lot. But actually, it's quite nice to actually see that. So that's really the 2 main modules that we are looking at. That's for application usage and manage Autodesk. So what we'll do now is we'll go back to the presentation. So there's a multitude of different modules that we can obviously explore a bit deeper if you actually want a sort of a personal demo. Okay. So what we're now going to do is just have a quick go over some of the other reports that we can help customers with. Okay, so one of this report here will start to show us about an Autodesk optimization analysis. Okay, so there's a service that we do provide for a lot of our customers, which helps calculate the amount of user licenses they need and the amount of flex tokens they need. Okay, so this report, you can see it's got an awful lot of data in it, but actually we calculate how many flex tokens they would potentially be using, how many flex tokens they have, and then we can start to tailor the information accordingly. This is where we can see low token consumers. Okay, so these are the people, once we look at their whole Autodesk estate, we can actually say that these people should be put onto flex tokens or these people shouldn't. So the previous people, you wouldn't put them onto flex tokens, you would give them named user licenses. These people, you would potentially start to look at putting them onto flex tokens because actually it's a lot more cost effective to do that. This one here, again, these are the sort of middle people. Okay, so you're always going to get when there's a different license model like Autodesk where you've got named users and flex tokens, you're always going to have people in the middle where they're going to be either on the cusp of a named user license or flex tokens. Okay, you can see these users here, these are the ones. So that's where a lot of our customers will advise to put people onto flex tokens or not. But actually what we can do is there's always a buffer. You know, a lot of our customers will actually look at the data and say, we recommend you need 100 licenses of AEC. They might go to 110, for instance, okay, because what you don't want to do is keep flip-flopping people between the license models, okay, so you're putting them to flex and then you're putting them to named user, okay, so these are the people that are normally in the middle there, so. Okay, and then I'm going to hand you back over to Stephen, and then he's going to have a quick chat about one of the case studies.
Thank you, Jerry. So as you can see, CQFlexMon gives you fantastic visibility of your software license portfolio. And show you a real-world example of this visibility, we're going to talk a little bit about Purcell, which is an award-winning firm with over 300 staff. So their problem was like many others we've seen in the business, that they had no control over their software licenses. And this led to users requesting more software than they needed. And this meant that Purcell was overpaying and over allocating licenses and essentially wasting money. But by implementing CQFlexMon, they finally gained real-time insights into what they were using and how often. So this powerful data-driven visibility allowed them to correctly categorize their users from viewers to 3D modelers and purchase only the licenses they actually needed. So what was the result? The result was, as you can see, a staggering amount in their first major year of renewal. Purcell saved an incredible £80,000 on their licensing costs. And that's money that went straight back to the bottom line, and all thanks to smart monitoring and precise data. So I suppose we're going to move on now and see how you can book a demo with us, so we can show you CQFlexMon and how it can affect your licensing portfolio and how you can save money. If you scan the QR code, you can get in touch with us. We'd be delighted to have a chat with you. Even Jeremy and our team can take you through how CQFlexMon can save you money. And as I said at the start, Symmetry is your trusted partner. We want you to be using the licenses that you need and not overspending and over allocating licenses, which essentially is wasting money. So I'd like to thank you all for watching our video today, and I'd like to thank you, Jeremy, for taking us to a demo of the product. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. There'll be links and more information in the description of our video. But until we talk to you again, thank you very much for joining us.